Um, so look again, never take winning for granted in this league. It's good to win. So I was pleased with that. I thought we did some good things. It's nice to see Kendre Miller, a couple of plays there. Nice run for the touchdown. Good route and good reception to get ourselves down there. That was good to see. The three takeaways defensively was a positive. I didn't like the penalties. It's way too many. So that's something we got to get cleaned up. I didn't like the 4th and 23 there at the end of the game. That's got to be better. You can't allow somebody to do that. And I didn't like the fact that we let the quarterback run way too much. I think they had about 120 yards rushing, and 60-something of it was quarterback scrambles. So that's got to get cleaned up. But look, we won the game, and I'm pleased about that. But there is a ton of crap that needs to get cleaned up.
Dennis, the news just broke that you guys canceled joint practices next
Yeah.
week. Why is that?
Yeah. So D'Amico reached out to me this morning and wasn't sure that they were going to have. They had a lot of guys get injured this past week, and wasn't sure that we were going to be able to have productive joint practices. So we thought it was better to go ahead and cancel it and just be able to play the game. So. Look, sometimes those things happen, and we were both in agreement with that. So we'll work on our own. And we got a lot to focus on, a lot of improvement to do. So,
Dennis, how did you feel your first defense played for that first quarter and a half or so that you had them in?
Yeah, look, I thought it was pretty good. I guess they kind of had one drive where they kind of were able to kind of move the ball just a little bit. But I thought overall, it was, pretty solid performance by that group.
Specifically to that, what did you see from Jalen Smith? I know that he was somebody that caught your eye this week. Did he?
Yeah, look, he made a heck of a play on the third down, out route to the tight end. He's basically a man-to-man coverage there. So that's the one play that kind of stands out to me a little bit. I'll have to go back and look at the tape, to see exactly how he played. But it looked like he was flying around out there, so it was fun to watch.
Dennis, that play from Peyton Turner, the sack, forced fumble, it's kind of thing he's done all training camp. Talk about that one moment.
Yeah. Look, that's kind of the stuff that we've seen him doing in training camp, and that's why we drafted him where we did. And I think, here's a kid that has had a lot of injury issues, which has forced him to miss a lot of time, and so therefore he's missed a ton of development. And so, it's been an unfair assessment of the player up to this point. But I do think he's had a good camp, and I do think he made some nice plays today.
Yeah, can you kind of describe the last 36 hours or so? Hurricane bearing down, and then there's an earthquake.
Yeah. Listen, I'm waiting for the officials to come in and meet with us. We got a hurricane coming in. My phone's blowing up with an earthquake emergency, and then the officials come in and say, "Well, it's technically an outside stadium, so if there's lightning, we might have a lightning delay." I'm like, "What the hell?" So yeah, look, there's been a lot. I thought it was a hell of a week just in terms of the productivity of what we were able to get accomplished in the joint practices and then be able to play the game. So that was all good. I'm ready to try to get back home and, get ready to go back to the Dome next week.
We've asked you a lot about Kendre in the passing game, both as in pass protection and as a receiver. What do you think of? Look, he had a blitz pickup tonight, and he had that really nice.
Yeah, look, he's getting better at all that stuff. He had a nice protection the other day in the practices too. So look, each day he continues to get a little bit better. Obviously, we've got to keep him healthy and keep him out there and get those reps. But you can see the talent level. He's a talented player, and so that's what we're excited about.
Dennis, the day from Shaq Davis, a couple of contested catches.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that he got the one touchdown called back. But yeah, that was good to see. He's a big, long receiver. And I think that's going to need to be his world. I think his world's going to have to be, playing big and being able to make contested catches. So it's good to see when he does.
What was the situation with Hainer having to leave for a few plays and then able to come back?
So the spotters upstairs, I'm assuming it was the spotters upstairs. It was either them or the officials on the field. I didn't get an explanation of that, but I knew what it was that they were bringing him out for. So we went, had him evaluated. Our doctors and they went through the whole protocol and they said he was cleared to play. So he went back out there.
Dennis, I know you said it on the pregame show to your TV guys, but can you just update where things stand with Jimmy?
Yeah, look, Jimmy's with us. He's healthy. He'll have some more testing to go on. But look, he's a little shook up, but yet overall, he's doing okay.
Dennis, on the one where the Chargers quarterback kind of ran in free, you pulled Foskey off to the side after that play. Can you share just the conversations you've been having with him in camp? And
Yeah,
trying to
look,
find
I mean,
him?
I think that was a play that I thought he should have been able to finish and make the play, and so I expressed to him that I expect him to be able to make that play. That's why we drafted him where we drafted him, and so now that being said, man, I've seen some improvement out of this player. I've seen him cut it loose a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I hold him to a standard that, a standard of expectation that, he should have made that play. That's the way I feel.
Dennis, you guys have had kind of a long look at Nico Lalos. I mean, he's been around for a little bit. It's a pretty big game tonight.
Yeah, look, he's a guy that's worked extremely hard. He was on the practice squad last year. He went and played in the XFL this year. I think that was good experience for him to get out there and play. He's been putting some good stuff on tape. It's a position that we're pretty deep at, so there's a lot of competition there. So, we'll evaluate where that tape was, but he did do some good things tonight.
Do you have any update on Calvin Throckmorton? Saw he left the game.
No, he left the game with ribs.
Yeah, you talk about cleaning up penalties. What are some of the things you do when it's kind of just
Well, look, so the pre-snap penalties can't happen. That's just a total lack of focus. And so that's got to get cleaned up. And then really you got to look at the tape and you got to determine from a technical standpoint, what could you have done better technique-wise to put yourself in a better position, specifically on some of the holding calls. And look, from my vantage point, I probably don't, I don't believe they were all holding, but the flag went down and they threw it, and so we got to look at it and see what we can do better.
And just in terms of the OPI, I think Ryan Edwards had 2 in a 3-play span. Is that just kind of a technique thing?
Yeah. Look, I think, on that particular play, he's kind of running a little slant route. The DB kind of jams him, so, the official explained to me that he thought that he really wasn't really running a route, and so we'll look at the technique there. But all those are teachable moments, and that's part of what the preseason's all about.
And so what's kind of the biggest thing you took away from this time out here with the team, and what did you learn about the guys out here after a couple joint practices?
Well, look, I mean, I think we got a pretty good team. So now we got to go out and prove it on a weekly basis. I like the way this team's coming together. I like the way they're working. I like the way they're coming together as a team. It's been fun to watch. All good? Okay, thanks.